Samaritan. From across Hillhurst, Charlotte stares into the darkness. The little shadow city that's built up along the sidewalk across Sunset. She can see the silhouettes of transients shuffling back and forth, fading in and out of the street lamp. They seem furtive, as if they're scuffling from spot to spot before she can make out any details. There are a lot of them. Her husband has said that they move back and forth like the bad guys from Mario Brothers, and some people would say it's a shitty thing to say, but Charlotte thinks it's also true. Back and forth, like the little birds in an ornate, old-timey clock. She doesn't have to walk this way, but going a different direction will add like 20 minutes to the trip, and she wants to get home, to sink into her cramped little couch and crack open the absolute edition of Saga that she bought last week. She needs to take her fucking shoes off. The street is a shamble of mattresses, tents, and tarps, a continually growing labyrinth that's existed since she moved here a few years ago. Sometimes the city comes and clears the street. Mostly the street stays lined with tents and that pop up and down like mushrooms on the forest floor, appearing and disappearing without fanfare, but always present. A pile of shoes, a deconstructed radio, lines tying down tarps like teepees, locked boxes stacked like musical instrument cases, a pile of shattered jars glittering in the half-light, silver blades of light chasing their edges each time a car passes. A man cooking on a camp stove over a burning jar of canned heat, a radio blaring Old Town Road, a woman sweeping off a tarp, the rasp of the broom. Charlotte keeps her head up. She doesn't do it on purpose, but she locks eyes with a man sprawled out in an office chair. He's shirtless, his head is completely shorn, his limbs are incredibly thin, his arms are at his sides, and she can tell by the cant that he can't really move them. His skin is white like dead coral. It glows on healthily in the passing beams. His eyes are huge in the dark. They're swimming with tears. Their dark, slick surface catches the neon sign from the strip club, Cheetahs, and a dehydrated rainbow light flickers across their surface. She doesn't look away, but she wants to. His face twists like he's choking, the hollows in his cheeks collapsing into what must be a mostly toothless mouth. She thinks he might be getting ready to spit on her. Her hands dip into her purse, toward her pepper spray. Don't look away, she tells herself. Keep your face neutral, she thinks. I'm sorry, he says. His face twists again, and she thinks maybe it's a neurological tic. I'm sorry. She stops walking for half a heartbeat, and then her body kicks her into moving again. He hasn't done anything, but she's screaming with adrenaline. It's ripping through her in cold waves of wire-chased near agony. It's okay, she says. You didn't do anything. And she keeps the eye contact as she walks past him. She feels like this is what she was supposed to say. She isn't sure, though. It's true, but it feels hollow, like the sound of her own heels falling on the pavement as she clicks through the last few feet of the homeless encampment. On the couch, she imagines it all differently. She thinks about how light the man must be, how she could have easily lifted him from his chair, could have carried him up the block and into Los Feliz. How eventually, maybe with the help of her neighbor Tom, she could have gotten him up the stairs and into her bathtub, where the water would cut away his old life like a warm blade in the hands of an existential surgeon. That his pain would stream away with the filthy water, and he'd flex his hands, hugging his own shoulders in amazement. And she'd apologize. I'm sorry, she'd say. She could do it. She just needs to stand up, take her keys from the glass coffee table, and step back into the night. And then, still imagining how she'll walk back to her car, the rescue of that man, she falls asleep on the couch. She doesn't even take off her shoes before she's out. Thank you.